Okay, I got everything cleaned up now. So here's what it looks like. All cleaned up, more or less. There was a lot of the gray swarf, for lack of a better term. I don't know if that's the right term or not, but fine particles, gray particles. I got to think it's all metal, tiny metal filings. You can't really see anything shiny in it, but it's gray. So unless grease turns gray with age, and I haven't seen that yet, but anything's possible, then there should be all kinds of tiny little shavings inside. So I got a lot of cleaning to do on this gearbox and gear set. So I just wanted to show what everything looked like before I started to dismantle it. I did take my my punch there, and I just punched a couple of spots on the shaft for the shifter. This is the one that goes behind the transmission, behind the gearbox, over to the left side for the shifter, and the shift arm itself. It should be okay because, from what I understand, behind here there's this assembly here has kind of a fork that the shifter goes in and acts on. So you really shouldn't be able to get this off too much, but I wanted to try to line it up as much as possible because it's at a bit of an angle. It isn't up straight up and down. And likewise, I wanted to show where my adjuster bolt is on this. This is a lock nut, but this bolt can move in and out to adjust the shifting on the bike. Well, the shifting is good, so I don't want to mess with it. So right now the slot is kind of at a 45-degree angle. So when I go to loosen this off, I've got a box end. I'm going to put a box end wrench over that, but I'm going to hold it much like you do with the when you're adjusting valves. I'm going to hold on to this and then just loosen off the nut and try my best not to move that a whole lot. If it moves a little when I go to reassemble it, I'll remember, and certainly from this video it will be a good reminder that it's at this angle here, kind of a 45-degree angle. Okay, so without much more ado, let's get to tearing this thing apart and see where we're at. So I'll try to get you guys set up. Hopefully you get a pretty good view. Try my best not to get my knee in the way. Okay, there we go. All right, I think you can see pretty good there. Let's put everything over there. My gloves on. Turn off my flashlight. I don't need that right now. I'm okay. Yeah, there was a lot of material in there. It wasn't too much. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. There was a bit of sand, and I think a lot of the sand came in through the where the clutch cable comes through. So I'm not going to worry about the cable too much right now. I'll take that out in a little bit. Actually, can I pop that out easily now, or do I have to? Yeah, I should be able to. I also don't need to worry about it just yet. I'll just leave that clutch cable in there for now. I'll get it out later. Okay, so let's see now. First things first, we'll take off this shifter plate assembly. Oh no, this is the small one. So this is a 3/16 Whitworth. So there's just these two nuts here to take off. They're not on super tight, they're on just a little bit. The old, using the old, oops, sorry about that, guys. The German torque spec, good and tight. Get that guy out of the way. I don't think this is spring loaded. I think this just, yeah, it just sits in there. Okay, so now I get those two. I'll just sit those down here temporarily. Alright, now this should just slide off. There's a washer here. I'm going to leave the washer with my... I'm going to try it. It's all yeah, it's grinding like crazy. Okay, so that's interesting. This doesn't want to come off, or what? Or am I pulling too much off? Or... There we go. Okay, so it came off. There's all kinds of grit in there. There's a spring on the back side here. So I'm just going to try to keep everything in order as much as possible. There's my, oh, I moved my rag. Try to keep everything in order as much as possible. No, I don't. I'll have to leave those nuts there for now. And then this guy here, the shifter arm, yeah, it's just what it does. There's this back plate here there's a couple of slots in here that this sits in, so I'll use my my Allen key here. Holy smokes, now that was tight. Pinch bolt here on this guy was tight. This is interesting. So that slides off. I need to back that off some more or what? Yeah, I think I need to back that off some more. It's fine. Put it back in there. There we go. Now it's easy. There we go. Came right off. So, yeah. You can see, oops, sorry to get my knee in the way. You can see this tab here just fits right in there for the shifting. So pretty straightforward. And this one here, there's is that a circlip? Yeah, there's a circlip in here to keep it from moving back that way. So this is the play that's in this shaft going through for the shifting, but it's not a whole lot of excessive play, so there is a bit. Now, there's not much behind there. I kind of like the idea that there's a little play. I don't know if I want to make that super tight, like if I want to go with a different, something behind the circlip, but it'd have to be really, really it'd be like a shim. I'd have to put a shim behind there. But I'll think about it, but I don't think so. I think this thing works well, so I'm just going to go back the way it was. Okay, so that's down there. My Allen wrench over there. X key. Oh, what size? Does this one have the size on it? I don't think so. It's probably just it's just a generic disposable. Let me have a look here. I'm guessing it's probably 5. Yeah, it's around a 5 millimeter, so I don't know. It might be an imperial, but I think that's a 5 millimeter. It matches up to my 5 millimeter set that I know is 5 millimeters, so that's okay. All right, we got those guys there. Oh yeah. All right. What's next? Let's see. Well, let's go for this guy here. So this guy is what? This one I'm thinking. Is that a 13? Yeah, 13 millimeter. It's nice and snug on that. So now, where's my screwdriver? Here we go. So I want to kind of hold that if I can and keep it from turning. Go. Not super, super tight, but nice and snug, so. spin off. There's a washer behind it. There we go. Come here, Mr. Washer. There we go. Drop those down there for now. Okay, so that's there. And then we'll go for those guys. So this is my 3/16 Whitworth. Now these ones are on there good. There we go. Now this one, the kickstart spring loops around this one. So that may try to fly out. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's going to try to fly out. So can I get a... I think what I'll do is I'll use a pair of needle nose pliers to kind of just hold that in place. Come on now. I'll back it off a bit more. Not sure how. Yeah. There we go. Should be interesting when I go to refit this. I'm not sure if I think the tension is from that I'm feeling in the bolt. It's from the spring, but could be wrong. Come on now. Hard to believe I'm right-handed. There we go, it does. Holy geez, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be good. That's going to be a fun one to put back in. And I have to get the spring up. Alright. And then these guys, is this one just going to, yeah, these ones just come out. I guess it was certainly a convenient way to hook it on, but bit of a nuisance. And they didn't use a shoulder bolt either, but whatever. Is what it is. And there's no washers underneath there, so that should come out. And then the rod, push rod, should be underneath, or half the push rod. Yeah, yeah. Look at that now. So it's all kinds of gray grease. So. So this one here, looking at this cover, there is what amounts to a little tab. And the tab is kind of facing down towards the 8 o'clock position, or not the 8 o'clock, so what the hell am I thinking? It's facing up to the 10 o'clock position as you put it on like this. There's nothing over here, so that's just, I don't know if it makes a big difference when it goes in, but that's the way it is. And then the numbers that are stamped into the casting, they're kind of, they're up. So try to remember that when I put it back on, see if it makes a difference or not. And then this guy, it's the main shaft. I need to get that one undone, but that's a reverse thread. Let's see now. If I undo it now, I'll be able to. I need to get it out because I need to be able to get that off to replace the bearing that's behind here. But I'm thinking I don't know if I need to. I don't think I need to take it off right now. All right. Now these pillars have slots cut onto the sides, so I'm thinking these need to come out. And then, well, they certainly do, because I can see there's one screw here. I'll bet there may be another one back there, but there's certainly one screw here that I can't get at until I take off this plate. So this has to come off. All right. So now, what size are those before I start taking the screws out? I see 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. 2, where do I see? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. And that's what I see. Could be one of these actually work to hold it in too. We'll see. So now I need to get see what I get for a wrench. Too big? Oh, jeez. Okay. Now we know. Is that one going to work? No, not enough room. I don't think the end now won't work that way. It's got to go this way. There we go. They were just snug. Those guys out. And there's a washer. What kind is that? That's just a flat, straight washer. Yeah. And this must be open into, because there's more of that gray crap. So that's open into the gearbox through this. Okay. One. Oh my goodness. I feel it grind away. Man, there's a lot of stuff on these. This one, it's actually got dirt. So you know what? This one went in behind the gearbox. And that opened up to the outside of the gearbox here, because this cover goes beyond the gearbox face. Okay. There we go. All right, here we go. Yep. And there you go. There's a nice little flat screw here. So there's another screw that needs to come out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 screws. And one of them here, behind the plate, was a flat screw. Alright, now let's see how easily they come out. What I want to do is I just want to give that a quick wipe. Behind there, I got back there with Varsol, but I didn't get a chance to wipe it. So let me just give it a quick dab. this on here. Alright, that's not tight. Now before I go too much further, I want to get those parts out of that tray because I think there's going to be a bunch of junk that's going to fly into that tray when I open up the inner cover here. So let me what I want to do is I want to put this plate assembly together, more or less. Okay. So what I want to do is I want these plates together. And I want them oriented the way they came out. Because I think that's important. I think there's likely a wrong way to put this back together. Alright, so those guys there. Cover, 2 bolts for that. There, and then the 1 nut and washer and the shifter. And we'll move that over. Okay. Back to the screws. Now one thing, just kind of as a side note, I want to do is, because I'm going to switch out from using grease in this gearbox to using gear oil, as it heats up, it's going to be a bit of off-gassing. There's going to be a little bit of gas build up inside, movement, and the temperature rises. Well, I've now sealed everything up, hopefully tighter, so I want to make sure that I allow for a bit of relief. So what I was thinking of doing was drilling a small hole into this fill, this casting part here for the fill, and just a small one, like a millimeter or something small, like not very big at all, just enough, similar to the hole that's in the screw, the fill screw on the primary chain case cover that allows the gases from the chain case to exit the primary chain case as the clutch warms up and that warms up. Same kind of thing, just a little tiny bit of venting, just enough to keep this from overpressure. Because the last thing I want to do is start popping things, or I don't think I will, but if I do that, then it'll be off my mind and I won't have to worry about it. Okay, so back to taking these guys out. I don't think this is going to drop. I think when they assemble these, they put some RTV sealant, because these case covers, I'll use the impact on that one. These case covers don't use a gasket. Yep, use the impact on that one. What about you? Really? Was that the only loose one? Yep. And you? You too? Yep. Okay, that's fine. Get the impact out and knock up all those guys. They were on there, but I understand. This one. that one loose. No, knock that one loose. Where's the next victim? There we go. Oops. That one loose. Last but not least, I'm try to avoid hitting the peg here. I think I got that one. Alright. Screwdriver back on. Let's see if I did get them good. Yeah. That one. You know that driver was a great investment. Kind of an inexpensive tool. I don't know what I paid for it, but it was definitely less than $20. Probably around 10 at Princess Auto, because I remember buying it at Princess Auto. And used it a few times for stuff like this, especially with these slotted fasteners. Oh, wait a minute, now, did I get this one? Yeah, I got it, but it's just, especially with these slotted fasteners, because the last thing you want to do is bugger up the heads on these. If you've ever had to use a easy out or drill out a broken fastener with a stupid slotted screw, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's, okay, hold on a second, I don't want to lose track. So this one is here, this one is here, this one is here, because I'm seeing different size. So these two had longer shoulders, and this one had a short shoulder. Let's see what this one has. Oh yeah, that one's in there. There we go. Thinking that one might have a bit of the RTV in there. Gave us a bit of resistance. Let's see. So that one's a short shoulder. So the two here on the bottom are fasteners with the longer shoulder. Now hold up one of the other ones there. You can see for yourself. They're shorter bolt too, but you can really spot it because the shoulder is quite a bit shorter than this one. So, but it also is a shorter bolt, shorter fastener. I guess it's not a bolt, but a screw. All right, now one more. Get you out. There we go. Countersunk screw. Yep, worked out good. Now that's interesting because there are little shavings on this one. So, I don't know how good they were with cleaning out their their tappings when the factory tapped it. I don't suspect they did any cleaning. When they tapped them, they just tapped them and threw the engine together, threw the box together. So we'll see. Now, did I get them all? Got that one, get that one. Oh. What's this now? It's just because it was clean. There's one here. Does this one need to come out? Most likely. My guess is yes. So. Well, wouldn't you know? It's not a Whitworth. Big surprise, eh? Might be a 12 millimeter. Do I have a 12? Got a 10. Right? Why wouldn't it be the same size as these ones, right? Why wouldn't you do that? Why, oh why? Close, but not quite. Dirty devil. Okay, let me grab a 12. If it's not a 12, we'll start playing around with Imperial. Nope, it's not a 12. Matter of fact, is that 12? Yeah, that is a 12. Matter of fact, that's bloody big. Is it an 11? This is a 10. And a 10. Man, oh man, oh man. They're messing with me, man. They're messing with me. You get an 11. And I'll get one of my Imperial wrenches. Fun, fun, fun. Love the Enfield. Where? I must have... I try to keep everything together. I must have the 11 over here with me somewhere.